All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another Kengan analysis video. I say another, but it's literally the first one I've been doing. Again, this is the first video I've been doing in this format, so if it's a little wonky, please forgive me. But today I'm going to talk about the unsung hero of Kengan, Omega Ashura. I can't talk about Fist of the Seeker because, he wasn't in that series. But it's Rihito. Rihito is my favorite character, and I think he represents the everyday man of these fighters, or at least of the fighters of the tier that we're accustomed to. And I think it's kind of I'm not gonna criticize Senderovich's direction with this character because I think it's very good. I think it's a very good direction to take this character. Like there needs to be somebody who like gets the short end of the stick, like Rihito doesn't win every match he's a part of, and I think that's a good thing. But I think when you take a character and you show that they improved just for them to keep losing, I think that's a little weird to show as a character trait. You know what I mean? So let's talk about how Rihito goes through the Kengan series. So we see here this he's Oma's first opponent, first official opponent in the Kengan matches. So that's really good. And I really like how eventually these guys become the best of friends. And I really wish that that was something that was, expanded upon. When they're on the cruise ship and when they're waiting for the tournament to happen, you see them hanging around a lot. They're chilling. They're eating the food. They're getting in trouble. Kaide's yelling at them for all kinds of shenanigans that they get up to. And it's really important to see, like, characterizations like that because up until this point, like, Oma hasn't been seen to have any friends, and Rihito was his first friend that we see explicitly throughout the series. And yeah, you can say Kazi, and yeah, you can say Kaede, but those are like more of his symbolic family roles, right? Like Kazi is, like I don't want to say the father because that's obviously Nico, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like Kaede and Kazi and Nogi, like those are his adoptive family now, and Rihito is his adoptive friend, right? Is not adoptive; it's his actual friend. So I wish I would have seen that dynamic played out more. I love that dynamic when they were on the ship. Um, but sadly, Rihito gets that short end of the stick, so it is what it is there. So let's move into our first piece. So Rihito taking Oma's blows. Now this is a Rihito that's fighting a Oma that's just not really utilizing the Nico style to its most effective measures, right? He's not going balls deep. He definitely doesn't have his memories back. And as you can see, this is pre-steroids Oma. Later on in the series, we know the art style changes, and I think everyone is just literally on steroids. And underground fighting tournament rules where you're allowed to kill, I think steroids would be the least of their worries, right? So moving on, we see so Rihito takes this L, right? Takes a hard L. We've all seen the series. We all know the series. We all know how it goes. Redirection kata, and Rihito's out, right? So Rihito goes and he trains, and the next time we see him is on the cruise ship, and he identifies Tokita at this moment. And at this point, they have like a Goku Vegeta kind of rivalry, right? Like Rihito is definitely Vegeta in this situation. He was defeated by our main good guy, quote unquote good guy, and he seeks to improve himself to best him again, right, in their rematch. So we see here his direct improvement. He went to train, and bam! The weakness for Rihito's Razor's Edge was that he needed time to do the big swing, right? So now he can do it from like zero space. That's how Oma was able to defeat him using the redirection kata. He cut off and then changed. He cut off the angle and then changed the flow of power, right? So now Rihito doesn't have that weakness anymore. So lo and behold, he wins this. Yada yada yada. He's able to compete in the tournament, right? And so I brought this panel up because it's really interesting because it plays into the future, right? And if you've read the series up to Omega, you know what I'm talking about. Spoilers if you don't. But we see Rihito get punked by Ryan right here, right? While he's taking a piss in the bathroom, right? Living his regular day life. And Ryan says something pretty interesting. He says that Rihito is a normie, right? And I get that. Like, Rihito is a normie. He's the most normal person out of all of our characters, and Rihito is not normal. He is not mentally stable at all. But here we see Ryan struggling with Mokichi Robinson that's using his full Baritu style. And this is Ryan in base, right? Like we all know that eventually Ryan uses the removal to take care of Mokichi and seemingly kill him. And we know by Ryan's personality, if he could have dominated him in his base form, then he would have done so. And obviously he didn't because that's not what happened in the story. So Mokichi uh, handles Ryan a little bit, just a little bit, right? This is Rihito's blood, by the way. This is so metal. Mokichi handles Rihito just a little bit, and later on, Rihito is able to defeat with ease this Mokichi Robinson to the degree where it's kind of like a gentleman's victory, not a true victory, right? And we'll talk about that more as we get there. But this implies that Rihito that we see in Omega would be able to at least stand against the Ryan that we see right here, right? So that's good, right? That's exactly what I want to see. Rihito goes back, he trains, and he wins. I like to see that, right? So then we move it along, right? And here's what I'm talking about, Rihito. Ryan coming up to Rihito while he's taking a piss, and yada yada yada, tells him, you're a fucking normie. I don't know why you're here, right? So moving on, we move on to his match with Gensai, right? Now, this match is a pivotal turning point. And here's what I like that they did with Rihito the most. They made him the student of Gensai, which is something I really didn't see happening, and I really have to praise Sondrovich for. And it happens in the martial arts community literally all the time. I've been doing this Hong Kong Fui martial arts punchy kicky type shit for a while, and so I see it all the time where you go to a tournament, you might get your butt beat a little bit, and then you make friends with that person, right? So this is great. I love this dynamic. I love that Rihito is seeking out to be stronger in order to contend with the rest of the cast because he's outclassed, and I get that he's outclassed, but I feel so bad for Rihito because excuse me, I feel so bad for Rihito because he puts in a lot of work, right? And of course, it's all off screen until Omega. We don't really see him putting in a bunch of work. Like, we don't see him doing fucking push ups in the mountain or whatever. But we do see him improving, right? And that's what we want to see. We want to see him improving. And I think Rihito is Rihito's the part 1 Naruto of the series. Oh my gosh, bro. And the blonde hair. No, stop. Oh my goodness. So alright, so now we're gonna move into Rihito Shippuden. So the reason why I picked this panel is, number one, it's a dope panel. And two, it really represents the change in Rihito. Like, obviously, Rihito has changed, right? We see the difference in his stance, and that's really captured in this image right here when Kazi notifies that, or notices that Rihito's stance has changed to suit a more orthodox setup to his razor's edge. So in this stance, it's symbolic that all Rihito's thinking of is his razor's edge and making the most of his God-given gifts, right? And I think that's very characteristic of Rihito up until this point, right? When he was going against Gensai, swipes all day, every day until he landed one. And I think that even though like Gensai totally whooped his ass, I think it's very impressive that Rihito was able to land a blow on him, right? We can all agree on that, right? He definitely wasn't supposed to do that. But now, after learning under his new master, Kuroki Gensai, Rihito's adopted a more orthodox stance and able to set up his razor's edge. And I like that he was able to beat Mokichi Robinson here, right? And I like that he was able to do this because it's really important for Rihito's character, right? To prove that he's not just, wasting his time. And I think that's super important. Look at this. Look at that flexibility. Look at that form, man. Respect it. Respect it. So, moving on. Rihito's giving him lots of problems. Look at that orthodox block and into the razor's edge. Clean, and here's our gentleman's victory. Nice. So, guys, this brings me to his fight with Falcon, right? So, what I don't like about this fight, I think it's a great fight. I think it's honestly one of the top 3 fights that we've seen so far in the Kengan versus Purgatory competition. I really do. This fight is so good because we see Rihito go from being the underdog to the like Rihito barely lost this fight, and honestly, I don't think he should have lost this fight. I think he should have won this fight. We've seen Rihito obviously improve from his ass getting beat by No Memories Oma. Like scaling wise, Falcon would destroy this Oma. I really what am I doing? Falcon would destroy this Oma. I believe, right? I think so. I think we're very hard pressed to say that this Falcon right here loses to this Oma right here. Number one, I think this Falcon, oh my gosh, I can't get my tabs right. I think this Falcon would do very well in the Kengan Annihilation tournament. He would definitely make it to some of the more final rounds, right? He's trashing Dudley, obviously all of the first rounders, right? So of course that means Rihito as well, but he's trashing Dudley. He's trashing the blood crying judo guy, trash. I think he wouldn't have trouble. Nikaido Ren, trash. Oh my, oh, no diff. I think characters like Setsuna, characters like Muteba Geza, characters like obviously Wakatsuki and Julius. Those are the characters that would give him trouble. And at that point, Rihito wasn't on that tier, right? Not to say that he's on that tier now. I definitely do not see him beating Wakatsuki in any way, shape, or form, right? Until he masters some kind of Devil Lance Razor's Edge hybrid. I think Rihito has good possibility to pick up the Devil Lance. He's already got flesh piercing fingers. Pause. Anyway, so we're moving on, and I really think he should have won this fight because, like, narratively speaking, like, and I know Sandrovich loves to pull the misdirections, right? Like, we obviously Rihito improve in this fight. He's dodging, he's reacting, he's landing blows, he's blocking. Look at that block. He's blocking. Even surprises Falcon, who by all means, stat-wise, should be higher up than Rihito, right? Blocking him, really taking what he's learned from Gensai and his own prior knowledge as a very strong Kengan competitor, right? Definitely lower tier, but very strong Kengan competitor, and applying it to these new battles. Love to see it, but I just hate to see him not get the win. So we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. So it all goes downhill, and you could really say that Rihito only lost because of Falcon's poison, and I highly agree with that. If Falcon hadn't practiced that poison style, if Falcon style was just the god, look at King over here. If Falcon style was just a form of ninjutsu without without the poison style, the poison hand, Rihito would have won this hands down. Like, it would have been high difficulty, but I think he would have won it. So guys, those are my thoughts. I just wanted to give Rihito some shine since I don't see a lot of content being made on him. And you know, oh god, what a great panel. This is top 10 panels. Top 10 panels in Omega. Easy. Easy peasy lemon the squeezy. Alright guys, so that's going to be our video for today. Again, I just wanted to give Rihito some shine. Stay tuned for some more content. I love talking about this series, and I am appreciative that you guys will listen. Like, share, and subscribe, and do all those YouTubey things that make the algorithm happy. Johnny! See ya!